Welcome back to the channel friends, Mehjabin here. London 82 is a poem in which the poet William Wordsworth expresses his sense of despair over the state of affairs in England at the time when he was composing this poem. In his state of utter despair, the poet hopes that John Milton, who lived in the 17th century England, would come back to this world and start living in England one more time and lift the people from the wretchedness that they were facing then. Wordsworth felt that his fellow Englishmen had lost their earlier sense of morality. He thought that only a noble soul like Milton could inspire them to change their thoughts and attitude and lead them towards progress and enlightenment. The poet William Wordsworth began his poem London 1802 by uttering the name of Milton and wished that he was there in England at that time. The country needed Milton. The poet compared the current situation in England to a marshy territory that had nothing but stagnant waters where matters related to growth and development seemed to have no scope at all. The conditions in the country had become so bad that it had lost its legacy of religious devotion and spirituality, military skills, literary achievements, happiness in domestic life, political progress, and secure living. Nobody seemed to care about God. Domestic affairs were chaotic. The soldiers weren't brave and heroic as they were earlier. The people were a vastly unhappy lot as they didn't have peace and stability in their lives. They were selfish, lacked discipline and manners. Moreover, they were sinners as they had committed vicious activities. The poet makes an appeal to the dead iconic figure John Milton to return to England and lift the people from their current state of lowliness. He called upon Milton to teach them good manners, to groom them, to give them freedom and power to become better human beings. The poet compared the personality of Milton to a heavenly body that stayed apart from the other stars. Milton was an extraordinary figure in his lifetime. He was different from other people and so he stayed away from the general crowd. His pen was as powerful as the sea. The voice that was revealed in his literary works reflected clarity, nobility, and might. Milton's voice was as pure as the cloudless skies. It was majestic and free. In the ordinary journey of life, Milton traveled over an extraordinary path, and yet, despite his aura and nobility, he was joyful and carefree. Milton never kept himself away from small jobs. He performed even the most humble of tasks with happiness and cheer. Although Milton was a unique kind of man, he did not have arrogance. His heart was pure and he never kept away from the common people. The poet Wordsworth genuinely believed that only a superhuman being like Milton could save the people of England from their current state of misery. With these words, I come to the end of today's video. Consider subscribing to this channel if you haven't already. Bye.